that I could come up with nothing clickbait enough, so I just put a picture of Osama bin Laden. I am contractually obligated to tell you that YouTube is a fantastic place, and you should probably all be spending even more of your time watching Simon's innumerable channels. Yeah, I'm Simon, Kevin writes this, and he's absolutely doing the Lord's work. You should also become a member of this channel for fun, exclusive content. New videos just for members every week. It's on Thursday, and it's live, and it's ironic, as you'll see in a little bit. Even if YouTube wasn't how I paid my bills, I think we can all agree that there's a lot of, oh yeah, Kevin pays his bills through YouTube because Kevin writes me scripts. I read them on YouTube and I get paid by YouTube. That's weird, isn't it? And then, I don't know, like fucking Pantene Pro V or whatever advertises, and I get paid by Pantene Pro V. And then you go to the store and buy Pantene Pro V, which goes to the Pantene Pro V company, which goes to YouTube, which goes to me, which goes to Kevin. Fucking weird, isn't it? Economics is weird. I don't know why I chose Pantene Pro V. I don't even have hair. I think we could all agree there's a lot of genuinely interesting, entertaining, and useful content filling the platform. Well, yes, Kevin, but there's also a lot of crap. Not that I would ever make crap, Kevin. All of my stuff is wonderful and the nectar of the content gods. Of course, there's still a ton of crap on YouTube as well. That's not really surprising, and the same could be said about anything, whether it's books, movies, or whatever. About 90% of things people create are absolute garbage. But if their garbage happens to make money, then you best believe that there's going to be a whole lot more of it made. After all, it's not like Hollywood gave us 5 Transformers movies directed by Michael Bay because the producers believed his artistic vision for the franchise. Michael Bay, he's not the guy you go to for artistic vision. He's the guy you go to for, some sick-ass effects. And I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I'm going to enjoy a Michael Bay movie. I mean, goddamn. We've already, except for Transformers. Transformers I find a bit silly.
I am directly below the enemy scrotum.
Today's video is brought to you by the wonderful folks over at Squarespace. Now, if you haven't heard of them, you probably have. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Look, whether you're just starting out or if you're managing a growing band, Squarespace is for you. They allow you to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place, all on your own terms. So now let's dive into why Squarespace might just be the secret sauce to your online presence needs. Well, look, imagine you've got an amazing idea, but you've got no clue where to start with building a website. It's a common problem. Squarespace enters the picture with their blueprint. This guided design system lets you choose from professionally curated layouts and styling options so you can build a unique online presence tailored to your brand or business. Plus, it's optimized for every device. You'll be discovered faster thanks to their integrated optimized SEO tools. Plus, with Squarespace Fluid Engine, you can unlock incredible creativity. The next-gen website editor makes it a breeze customizing your site with their reimagined drag-and-drop technology. So, if you're ready to elevate your online presence, head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/blaze to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. That is squarespace.com/blaze for 10% off. Thank you to them for sponsoring, and now back to today's video. We've already looked at some of the dumbest trends throughout YouTube's history, but there are plenty more. And if cash grab sequels are good enough for Hollywood, then they're good enough for me. You're goddamn right, Kevin. There's nothing quite like a cash grab, is there? You see what's working and you make more of it.
Oh, I like money.
Me, Michael Bay, whoever the makes Lord of the Rings. So let's explain Star Wars and everything. Everything's so derivative. My career is derivative. My videos are derivative. It's okay. Oh God, is it? Should I be trying to come up with unique and special ideas? I don't know, I'm just not that creative. I'm sorry. Okay, crisis over. Let's move on. So let's explore deeper into the hellscape that is YouTube trends, including a look at one of the darkest and most popular trends on the platform, where the evil that transpires is all hidden behind the smiles and laughter of children. Holy shit, Kevin. What are we talking about here? I don't like it. Reading Reddit posts. This is why it's ironic, because often on the members' live streams on Thursdays, what I'll do is I'll go to the can't say it this early in the video, but the bottom. Not like that. Am I the asshole? Okay, demonetize me if you want, YouTube. F it. I go onto that Reddit and will judge people. But I hope, what Kevin refers to is those ones where it's just these were popular a few years ago, where it's just a robot voice reading a Reddit thing, and you click on one of those and the next thing, it's all you see on your homepage.
I'm 40-something male, a writer for a prolific bald YouTuber. One day, I decide I want to make my own content and try to make it on my own. The problem is, I live with like 15 of my co-workers in a small one-bedroom basement apartment. Anyway, I'm the only one out of all of us that's been trying to make their own content, and I'm getting crap for shooting OnlyFans in our common area. It's a one-bedroom place. Everywhere is a common area. Am I the asshole?
And I think they must have banned them because you don't see them anymore. It's just stupid. When we last talked about dumb YouTube trends, we covered the low-effort reaction channels. Those are the YouTube videos in which a YouTuber watches a video without ever saying a word, then uploads it as React content to make money. Sniper Wolf. You guys follow Jack's Films? Or whatever it's called. It's Jack's Reacts or whatever. The guy who made Jack's Films make this, and it's just making fun of Sniper Wolf. Brilliant, because Sniper Wolf is the lowest effort money grabbing content that I've ever seen in my life. It's bad, but who doesn't want to see Sniper Wolf go like this? That's about as low effort as it gets, but there's another type of video that is almost on par with it, and that's the videos in which the YouTuber just reads posts off Reddit. I mean, look, there's a different, like when I do it, it's going to be 70% or 80% me talking and 20% me actually reading the post, because that's how I am. I can't keep my mouth shut. I mean, this video's like, and I paid Kevin to write this. Even this is like half me just talking and half Kevin. Can you imagine what it's like when it's someone else's stuff that I feel I have to add to? It's like 80%. This is the sort of thing that I would never have known existed had I not started working for Simon. I've stumbled across a number of these videos while researching various topics, especially with internet mysteries where Reddit is the primary source of information. If you're unfamiliar with this genre, if we can even call it that, then it would be easy to make it a pretty deep Then it would be easy to make it pretty deep into a video without realizing that the YouTuber was never going to add any original content. In fact, sometimes there isn't even a YouTuber involved. Sure, the videos will be posted on someone's channel, but it's clearly just a stupid AI voice reading the Reddit posts. I thought they banned this because they weren't chill with like AI voices reading Reddit posts, because I mean, it just seems like a bit, it's just a nightmare. We don't want that. That leads into a different discussion entirely about AI content farms that just read press releases or the transcripts of other videos on YouTube, something that is especially prevalent in the science community. My feeling about this, and it's like, sure, I see my videos being ripped off, and it's a little bit like, well, you know, and people point them out to me, and I'm like, bro, the video's got like 4 views. I just don't give a shit. Like, if you're not going to make effort making content, then you're not going to get rewarded. I mean, I'm sure there's some people out there with like a content farm with like 1 million channels. And they're pumping out and stealing all this content and stuff. But it's like, I don't know. I'm pretty happy doing what I do. I like making my content. And yeah, these people are usually just not as successful as me, which makes me feel good about myself and not so bad about it. If they were ripping me off and then making more money than me or being more successful, then I'll be like, yo, the fuck, man. But because they aren't, and I don't think they ever will be, I just take great comfort in that. But back to Reddit posts specifically, because these videos come in 3 main forms. Some videos do prominently feature a host who makes the bare minimum of contributions to their content, and the video will either show them sitting and reading, showing the text of the Reddit post on screen, or a combination of both. Why isn't this like... This doesn't feel like fair use. This feels like copyright isn't something that you have to apply for. It's something that you're granted on the creation of something. So if I type a Reddit post out, that is my copyright. I feel in my live streams, for example, that I can read those, and by the fact that it's me 80% talking about it, that is fair use. I am making a derivative work. Mentioning derivative again, but I'm creating something new. There's various pillars, but I feel like you're really hitting almost all of them by doing that. But if you're just reading out the post and then putting that on YouTube, that feels like you're violating someone's copyright, doesn't it? Does YouTube allow this? I'm really surprised. I'm surprised people don't copyright claim this, and then you get a strike, and then your channel gets fucked up. Like, come on. While I predominantly encountered this garbage while researching internet mysteries, it exists for a variety of different topics. For example, you can find countless hours of people reading posts from Am I the Asshole? Nuclear revenge. What the fuck is nuclear revenge if you really want to? Again, I feel there's a huge difference, and maybe that's just me and my copium, but between heavily reacting to something and reading it and adding your own thoughts and it primarily being your thing and just reading it out. Because that feels way less cool. It's like the difference between Sniper Wolf watching a video and just being like and someone pausing it every 3 seconds to share their thoughts. Big, enormous difference, and what I think crosses a legal line. The second main form these take is somebody reading the Reddit posts over gameplay footage from random video games. This is an unusual choice since it's not like any of these stories have the first thing to do with video games. It's like somebody wanted to be a professional gamer but was too to actually pull that off, so instead they decided to force you to watch how bad they suck at Call of Duty in order to hear them tell you a story that they didn't even write. God, can you imagine the ego it must take to think you could become a successful YouTuber by just reading other things people wrote? Steady, Kevin! Steady! Oh god, yeah, I know, but like most of my other channels, that's exactly what I do. But also, it's my content, it's my copyright, because I pay for it, don't I? Jesus Christ. And sure, I know there are news anchors and actors whose only job it is to read things other people wrote, but you know what? Sylvester Stallone didn't just become an actor. In order to get his big break, he had to write the movie Rocky, then refused to sell the script to any studio that wouldn't let him star in the movie as Rocky himself. So unless you think you're a better orator than Stallone... Okay, I think I just defeated my own argument. So let's move on. Yeah, Sylvester Stallone's not the best orator, but I mean... Mad respect to Stallone, mad respect to Sly for pulling off a career, because he's not the first guy you'd expect to do it, is he? And it's just like, I admire that. I admire that a great deal. Arnold Schwarzenegger as well is another one you think of, and it's like, this guy shouldn't be a movie star, but he is, and he's awesome at it, and I love him. The final type of these videos are simultaneously the least... I used to have a copy of Arnold Schwarzenegger's bookshelf, autobiography on my bookshelf, but now I just realized it's filled with prop books because they matched nicer. The final types of these videos are simultaneously the least and most egregious of the bunch. These are videos in which people just read creepypastas or Reddit ghost stories, often on an entirely black background.
Lazy bastard!
Holy shit, could you be more lazy? At least fire up the camera. At least do that. I still think it's not cool, but just on a black background. Another thing about this.
肩に力を伝えて
And this is particularly true for the Reddit ones where it was just an AI voice reading Reddit posts on YouTube, is the barrier to entry is nothing. Like, I feel with what I do, again, it's like, I've got to find someone talented like Kevin. I've got to pay Kevin. I've got to read it myself. You've got to be decent at reading. You've got to be decent at reacting. You've got to have a video editing team. The barriers to entry... not impossible, but fairly high. The barriers to entry from reading a story from Reddit into a microphone and not doing any effort on video is basically you've got to have a voice that doesn't sound just absolutely f***ing horrible. Although somehow Sniper Wolf has a career. So yeah. So if the barriers to entry are low and you do this, and someone realizes it's profitable, 1,000 people, 10,000 people are going to do it as well, and you'll have tons of competition and people won't watch your videos anymore, and that will be that for you. And, well, good. They're potentially the least egregious because these are the types of stories that are supposed to be listened to and told at campfires and stuff, but it's also the most egregious because creepypasta is generally garbage quality content and the last thing that anybody needs to be sharing, but hey, I guess some people like it. While on the one hand, I can see why these videos became popular enough to become an undying trend, on the other hand, I have trouble actually figuring out how it actually started. Was somebody reading through Am I the and thought to themselves, this is a really interesting story, but what about all those poor illiterate rejects that spend all day watching YouTube? How will they ever hear what an asshole this person is? I mean, it's probably the same thought of, like, people don't read, sometimes they listen to audiobooks. It's just the same sort of thing. And if that's not how this all started, then who was Phone? I don't know the reference, Kevster. Clickbait thumbnails and titles. This entry actually encompasses a few... Again, steady, Kevin, steady. I did a video the other day for Brain Blaze for this channel, and I just couldn't come up with any good thumbnail ideas. And it was about like heroic moments in celebrity parenting. It was just a really nice feel-good video, and I could come up with nothing clickbait enough. So I just put a picture of Osama bin Laden on the thumbnail, and then put in the comments, this video's got nothing to do with Osama bin Laden, but you clicked, didn't you? And I thought it was funny, but people didn't like it. It's still there though. It didn't work very well. People are over clickbait, to be honest. This entry actually encompasses a few different but related trends that exist on YouTube. Number 4 will shock you. Oh my god, that feels so 2016. Though not all of them are restricted to this platform by any means. They're also possibly the most interesting of the dumb trends because a lot of people who do these things don't like them either. One of the strangest of these clickbait trends is the use of soy face in thumbnails. Whoever's editing this, you can use these on the thumbnails. Soy face. Simon has definitely explained what that is in a previous episode, and also possibly before reading this sentence, but for anyone unaware, soy face is like that gaping mouth shocked expression that you see tons of YouTubers making in their thumbnails. This facial expression actually has a number of different names, including soy boy face, cock face, cock face, the face you make when you walk in on your girlfriend and you got cocked. New male face, and my personal favorite, soylent grin. I had no idea, I just knew it as soy face, but from now I'm going to refer to it as cock face. Also because cock is just a fun word to say. The practice of creators appearing in their own thumbnails is obviously very common, and it's an easy way to make your thumbnail recognizable to someone casually scrolling through their YouTube feed. It also makes sense that there would be different facial expressions in the thumbnails to convey what sort of tone the video will have. However, soy face, which is cuckface, which is meant to convey surprise or excitement, seems to appear in a disproportionately high amount of videos. Sometimes it may be the appropriate expression to make, but a lot of time it's not. I want to do one, like an absolutely ridiculous one for the thumbnail right now, and we can actually use it for this video. It's just stupid. Spit all over my desk.
You missed the spot!
For example, when Simon covered Pedro Lopez on the casual criminalist. It would have been pretty weird if the thumbnail showed side-by-side images of Pedro Lopez and soy face Simon with the caption, "You won't believe his crimes." You can bet that exists on YouTube though, because people are disturbed, bro. That specific example is fortunately not something I've seen, but it's also something not that far off from some of the hilariously inappropriate applications of soy face. This boy got cancer. But what about the hypothetical caption, "You won't believe his crimes"? It's pretty generic clickbait that is par for the course on the internet, and it's mostly fine. However, there's a more specific type of clickbait video title on YouTube that has only been trending upwards in popularity for years. Video titles that imply that the viewer is a moron. Oh yeah, it's like, you had no idea about this, you dummy. 4 things you didn't know about your penis.
That's a penis.
These are, which is a genuine video, always like 4 things you shouldn't be doing with your penis. I'm like, okay. Genuinely saw that the other day during one of the live streams. I was like, wow, all right, steady. These are common across all genres, with titles like, "You're doing this wrong, things you do every day that are killing your gains," and of course 10 Easter eggs that you missed in season 4 of The Boys because you're a fucking dumbass. Okay, the videos don't actually include "because you're a fucking dumbass" in the title, but it's certainly the implication. These creators believe you barely have enough brain cells to dress yourself in the morning, but it's okay because they're here to make your life a little bit better. I am here to make your life a bit better. You're welcome, person without the brain cells to rub together or get dressed or anything like that. You're barely smarter than a vegetable. Some of these videos, like The things you won't believe because you're barely smarter than a vegetable. Some of these videos, like those claiming that doing push-ups is killing your gains, are just trying to sell you things. But ironically, it's the makers of those videos telling you that you're doing everything wrong that are normally the idiots. For example, one of the most common cited life hacks / things everyone is doing wrong involves those Chinese takeout containers. There are easily hundreds of YouTube videos telling you that those containers are really designed to double as plates, and all you have to do is remove the meal, handle and unfold them. I don't think that's true. They're just put together because they need to be flat packed for postage. And then the person in the Chinese restaurant puts it together, puts the Chinese food in there. You don't need it to be a plate because you know the Chinese food gets delivered to your house. And if you don't have plates in your house, you've got more important things to worry about than the Chinese thing turning into a plate, don't you? You should work out how to get plates. Maybe get a job. Maybe earn some money. Maybe stop being a peasant. Just joking. I love all peasants equally.
What's up, peasants?
While it's true that an unfolded Chinese food container does become relatively flat when it's unfolded, so does every other cardboard box. Seriously, what the f*** did you think was going to happen? Were you going to remove the handle and unfold it, and suddenly it would turn into an origami crane? It's not a plate, it's just a flat piece of cardboard that was later folded into a box because it's easier to ship those things by the thousand when they aren't already assembled into a box shape. No shit. But if you're that adamant on using Chinese food containers as dinnerware, here's a special life hack. There's no need to risk making a mess by unfolding it into a plate because it's already a f***ing bowl, isn't it?
Yeah, boy.
You're welcome. Oh yes, and you're also not an idiot because you missed a bunch of obscure Easter eggs in a show that only appeared on screen for like 3 frames. You're an idiot because you managed to watch 3 full seasons of The Boys without thinking that Homelander was the good guy. I don't know what The Boys is, I've never seen it. I've vaguely heard of it. Of course, this all brings us back to why on earth these things are popular in the first place. It's simply because of a psychological effect known as a knowledge gap. If you make people believe that they have a knowledge gap, that they don't know something that everyone else knows, it makes it more clickable. Boom! YouTube big brain here, remember that, Kevin! Creators and viewers alike seem to find soy face ridiculous, and video titles, like the ones I mentioned, are incredibly blatant clickbait that everyone knows are meant to manipulate them into clicking on the videos by explicitly or implicitly insulting them. Sort of. But as Simon has probably been screaming already, everyone keeps doing it because it gets views. Yes. I don't know about soy face anymore. I think people are over that. Usually, I want to put myself in the thumbnail because I'm a brand. But usually I'll have I won't have some stupid face anymore. I'll just have some thoughtful face or mildly, this will be my mildly surprised face. No, it'll be it will usually be a screenshot from the actual video rather than something ridiculous. I'm sure there's some sort of existential, terrifying statement to be made here about the dangers of technology's control over our actions and how the YouTube algorithms incentivize creators to make thumbnails and video titles that both they and their audience find stupid. But Brainblaze isn't really the place to figure that out. Let's just agree that it's weird and dumb and go back to talking about other stupid internet challenges that have plagued YouTube. The condom challenge. Both of them. That's right, there are not one, but 2 stupid YouTube challenges, both known as the condom challenge. In the wake of the second trend emerging in 2015, the original one often became referred to as the condom snorting challenge to disambiguate them. Uh-oh. And yes, it is exactly what it sounds like. The idea is to snort a latex condom into your nose and then pull it back out through your mouth. And for some reason, that statement is more upsetting to me than just all the crime scene photos I've had to look at for the Crash Your Criminal list. It's pretty what if they get stuck in your nasal cavity and stuff? You're gonna have to go to hospital and explain why there's a condom in your face.
Nasty, dude.
Literally inside your face. It's honestly the sort of thing that once you see, you can't ever unsee. Unsurprisingly, this idea didn't originate on YouTube. It goes back to at least the 1990s, where one of the performers in the Jim Rose Circus sideshow would perform this trick. Impressively, not only was he able to snort a condom and pull it out through his mouth, he could do the process in reverse as well. I don't know how you'd even do that. As for the rest of his act, you really don't want to know what happens. I'm gonna eat a condom and pull it out my hole. If he actually did that, please no. Just a piece of string. A chain. Why did I say that? Why did I think that? The only clue I'll give you about one of the other feats is that once he was done, audience members were invited to drink it. I don't want to know. I don't want to think about that anymore. I'll let your imagination try to figure out what the it in question is. I'm not going to try, Kevin. I don't want to know. Other acts at this sideshow included WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts, who was presumably wrestling in exchange for crack. Okay, a little bit of lore that I don't know. Although that's the oldest recorded instance I can find of this happening, who knows how far back it actually goes. For all we know, Howie Mandel may have experimented with this in an early iteration of his latex glove stand-up routine. But regardless of when this feat was performed, or why the f*** anyone would do it in the first place, it first appeared online in 2006. Though there were several videos of people attempting this, it didn't go viral until 2013, when World Star Hip Hop posted a video of two young women attempting the challenge. After that, there were plenty of these videos all over YouTube, each more disgusting than the last. Aside from being extremely gross, the condom snorting challenge has often been cited as a serious health risk and a choking hazard. No I'm not going to claim that this isn't the case, though there don't appear to be any serious injuries as a result of people attempting the challenge. A lot of sensationalized, fear-mongering articles make reference to someone suffering from a collapsed lung as a result of inhaling a condom in 2004, but that was an unrelated incident. The woman in question accidentally inhaled a condom during what I can only assume could be described as the world's most enthusiastic blowjob. Good lordy lord. And to address the obvious follow-up question, they make flavored condoms for a reason, I guess. No, I don't want to think. No. Anyway, there obviously are risks to doing something as dumb as the condom snorting challenge, such as the risk that all of your friends will lose respect for you. But it seems... Kevin, your friends suck. If I did that, people would be like, whoa! Yes, Whistle! But it seems that the health... my friends don't call me Whistle, but I'd love it if they did. But it seems that the health risks are much less common when the condom is being inhaled intentionally instead of accidentally. That brings us to 2015 and the other much less disgusting condom challenge, the one that involved filling a condom with water and dropping it on someone's head. You might think that this would just make the condom pop like a water balloon. But that is actually not the case, since condoms are designed to be more durable than a typical party balloon. Instead, what happens is the weight of all the water in these massively engorged condoms causes them to wrap around the stick and stick to the person's head. This creates a kind of cool optical illusion in which it looks like the person's head is submerged underwater, although it also creates an airtight seal over the nose and mouth that makes it impossible to breathe.
Holy crap, it really works!
It does sound a little bit risky. Of course, it's still very easy to remove and or break the condom, so the risks of someone actually suffocating are extremely low. While this one isn't necessarily as dumb as the original condom challenge, it's still weird that it became a trend, since all of these videos are literally identical. The only one that's meaningfully different is one from the slow-mo guys who filmed the condom challenge with a high-speed camera, something which has earned them a solid 14 million views on the video. Is Slow-Mo Guy still around? They still making videos? That shit was really... I feel like it slipped off my radar about 5 years ago. And often that's just because people quietly just stop. But you should check that out. They made some really cool But even if only one of these trends would have made the list on its own asinine merits, the fact that there were two different challenges that were both named the Condom Challenge is incredibly dumb all by itself. Family vloggers. I like to think that we can all agree that child exploitation is a bad thing. Speak for yourself, Kevin. I want to, as soon as it's illegal, I'm employing loads of children for barely any money in order to make all my videos and write my scripts, Kevin. Watch out. You're going to be replaced with an 8-year-old. That certainly doesn't feel like it should be a controversial statement, and yet parents have been exploiting their children on YouTube for basically the entirety of the platform's existence.
We're not gonna tell you how to be a parent right now?
I am!
Worst of all, people keep watching them. These channels get millions of subscribers, so of course more families are going to try to use their children as a way to make money.
But Kevin!
I can already hear some of you asking, surely not all family vlogs are inherently terrible and exploitative. There's certainly a lot of debate that could be had over whether or not that's the case. Though many people would argue that they are, child YouTube stars are a lot like child actors, except without all the laws and regulations in place to protect them. Yeah, can you imagine, like, if you're a child actor, they have that thing that someone and someone's law is named after some kid or something, which means that, like, a certain amount of the money has to be put aside like a trust or whatnot for the kid when they get older, so the parents just can't like blow it all on cocaine.
Uh-oh. My friend wants me to try cocaine.
But like for YouTube, it's like their parents are just like, if I did a YouTube video with my kid, I'm free to like buy all the cocaine I want and not give my kid any of the money. Maybe just a little bit of the cocaine. Just a joke. And it's not like the laws that exist have the highest success rate at keeping child actors safe either. If a family YouTube channel would not make any money without the children appearing in the videos, then it's probably safe to say that the children are being exploited by their parents. I mean, maybe, but if you're splitting it equally with them and taking that money and putting in a trust for them when they get older or whatever and doing the right thing, then I think, I don't know if it's fine. It's not something that I would particularly want to do and I would wait. If my children wanted to do YouTube, I would encourage it because I think it's a fantastic way to make money and it's a very nice career. It's like, I genuinely love what I do, but I'm not going to force them to do that. That's a decision that they have to make on their own. Would I encourage it? Sure. But like, not like that's a decision for an individual, no matter how old they are. Maybe that's unfair of me, and I'm not trying to set too high a bar, but these channels are home to a never-ending slew of controversies, allegations, and even convictions. At their core, the whole point of these channels is to turn the children's lives into a carnivore show for everyone to gawk at. This means that the kids don't get to be kids, and they have to spend any time they aren't in school constantly performing for the cameras. And I do mean performing, as much of what happens is obviously rehearsed, manufactured, or otherwise fake.
Lies. Oh, lies!
The best case scenario is a situation like Jordan Cheyenne. In 2021, she uploaded a video that she'd forgotten to properly edit. She and her son were in the car talking about their sick dog that was going to have to be put down. Oh no. As I understand it, that was real, and they'd only just learned the news, but the kid wasn't sad enough about it. I mean, he was probably plenty sad, just not outwardly sad enough to make a compelling YouTube video. In the footage that was never meant to air, Jordan is seen coaching her son on how to cry for the video, and even making him pose for the thumbnail.
Put your head right here. Closer. Closer down. Put your head down here. Go like this.
No, Mom, I'm actually seriously crying.
No, I know, but go like this for the video.
That's extremely disturbing, and I'm sure psychologically damaging for the child, but again, this level of exploitation is the best case scenario. No, it's not. The best case scenario is that they just keep too much of the money, like maybe they're only giving the child like 49%. That's the best case scenario, not this. It just gets worse. Family vloggers frequently employ full-on child abuse to get their videos made, with the abuse sometimes even being a part of the video. We're not going to go into a whole lot of detail on this because it is still brain blaze, but I'm sure you've heard some of these stories before. But hey, you've got to do what it takes to show that you're the perfect family. Otherwise, what's the point in anyone even watching these videos? Well, there is still one point in watching these videos for a certain segment of the population. You know, the segment of the population that isn't allowed to live within 2,000 feet of a school. Oh god. Now theoretically, that shouldn't be the parents' fault. If those people didn't have content to watch on YouTube, they could just go watch Nickelodeon or become showrunner for Nickelodeon. Nice. Allegedly. Unfortunately, you didn't mention anyone in particular. We could be talking about just about anyone there, Kevin. Unfortunately, many parents are well aware who is watching their videos and why, and some chose to lean into that audience. Oh, that is fucking grim. You what? After all, the AdSense from their views spends just as good as any other money, but it feels dirtier. It's going to feel dirtier. One of the most prominent examples of this is from a family vlogger named Jess's Fam. She has been vlogging on YouTube ever since she had her first child as a 17-year-old high schooler, and now at the age of 32, she has up to 7 kids. Oh my good lord. And Jess has been accused of deliberately using her daughters to bait the sex offender crowd for views and engagement.
That's disgusting.
That is super fucked up. The example that got her the most backlash was a 2022 Instagram photo dump from a family vacation on a cruise ship. Most of the post and the photo dump was innocuous. However, Jess ended her post with "look hard at the last photo" for a fun surprise. The last photo showed Jess being kissed by her husband, or baby daddy, or whatever he is, while they were on the deck of the ship. However, in the reflection on the glass railing, you can see their 12-year-old daughter taking the picture. Or you could. The image and that last sentence sentence of the post have now been deleted thanks to the backlash from this situation. And that would still be innocuous were it not for the fact that many people said that the daughter was clearly topless in the reflection. Others argued that she was wearing a tank top that kind of matched her skin tone. Either way, a whole lot of people were zooming in on this reflection of a very underage girl because they wanted to see whether or not she was naked. And they were doing so because Jess essentially told them to. This is fucked up. Parents, you shouldn't... You're... Someone replied to the post saying that the daughter was going to be the photographer with no clothes on and that she was going to give them some entertainment. I don't even know what to say to that. Those are pretty creepy comments. They're not pretty creepy comments, they're mega creepy comments. So it's not great that Jess decided to like both comments by that poster. I could go on describing all the ways that YouTube family vlogs are dumb and terrible, but I think you get the point. Yes, we definitely do. And that's where we're going to end today's video. It's Jesus Christ, internet. Come on, get your shit together.